A reminder, we are following up with regards to that volcano eruption in the DRC. We're getting all angles of that story in terms of also the so-called humanitarian crisis that this is likely to have with regards to people crossing over the border, trying to get away from this eruption. We're going to be in conversation very shortly with our correspondent in the DRC. Also, we have Rwandan ambassador to the DRC, Ambassador Vincent Karega. I understand that the ambassador is on the line. Ambassador, thank you very much indeed for coming on. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Look, it's a terrible situation that the people of the DRC are going through, in particular Goma, where this eruption happened. But talk to us about, the so-called spillover effects into Rwanda. What more are you learning about people crossing over?
From last night, we got about 7,000 Congolese crossing over. Our Ministry of Emergency has tried to settle them into quickly prepared sites. And in the morning, as the volcano eruptions settled, some of them have already started returning into Goma. But Rwanda continues to prepare for contingency plans in case of more needs and so on. So those in Rwanda are settled and being fed. And this morning they've been attended to by the Minister of Local Government and the Governor of the Western Province on the site where they've been settled for the situation.
Ambassador, talk to us more about these contingency plans. What would it entail?
We normally deal with such issues by creating quick accommodation, tents, or using facilities like schools, stadiums, and church, and so on, and then ensuring there's water access and latrines, and definitely during this COVID time, masks and hand washing systems.
Right. And those people that have now since crossed over, where are they being lodged at the moment? Did you say schools?
There are some in the schools, some in a village church, and others around the stadium.
Right. We understand that this volcano last erupted back in 2002, if I'm not mistaken. Did you see similar scenes? Can you remember if you saw similar scenes in terms of people rushing, crossing over?
Sure. Those days it was worse than this. It's the time when almost a third of the city of Goma was washed away. But this one did not reach the city center of Goma, DRC. It has stopped not very far north, near the airport, but the major part of the city of Goma seems to be intact as far as I'm concerned, including the airport that was affected seriously in 2002.
For those who are still in the DRC and maybe their family members have left, any contact numbers, or how can they contact their family members that are now possibly in Rwanda? Is there any toll-free lines that are open? Who can they contact?
People, you mean Congolese who are in Rwanda to contact their family in Congo?
And vice versa, for those who are currently in the DRC and maybe are separated from their family?
Because the two cities are very adjacent, and the phones there, both side phones, are interconnected. So communication is very easy, and also local authorities from DRC and those from Rwanda are in constant communication and cooperation to the extent that any issue can be communicated. Radio, TVs, and media that are followed on both sides are also covering the situation.
Is Rwanda supplying any assistance in terms of disaster management to the DRC at this stage?
So far, there haven't been any requests, but in case of any need, Rwanda will deploy its support into any form of support to DRC.
In Nyiragongo, what sort of the latest information that you are getting with regards to this eruption? Is it still spewing out lava? What sort of information are you getting? What's the latest?
The spilling of lava has stopped from the observation this morning, and the last night lava is slowly drying up, so not leaking.
Yeah.
So which are good signs. But with Volcano, you can't just say it is over or it's going to come again. There have been some mild earthquakes in Rwanda and in Goma. So we wait and see and watch at the same time.
You say mild earthquakes in Rwanda. When did this happen?
Early this morning.
Early this morning.
After all the eruptions, it's a normal consequence. Whenever there are eruptions, either before or after, there are always these tectonic movements.
Yeah. So what did scientists say? Did this happen? These, as you put it, mild earthquakes happen before or after the eruption? I'm just trying to get a sense of what triggered it.
Definitely, eruptions always trigger some tectonic movement, but they were not dangerous at all. They are very far below dangerous ones.
Right. Any damage from that, as you put it, mild earthquake in Rwanda?
In Rwanda, nothing broke. No house, no road or something has been broken by these mild tectonic movements.
All right. Interesting indeed. And we do appreciate you coming on and giving us the very latest and giving us a sense of what's happening on the ground. Ambassador, thank you very much indeed. Be well.
Thank you, you too. Thank you, Bart.
That was Rwandan Ambassador to DRC, Ambassador Vincent Karega. They're giving us the latest from the Rwandan side, talking to us. He mentioned 7,000 people crossing over now into Rwanda. They are being housed in schools and other areas as well. That was the plan, I think, going forward. So he was giving us the very latest. Do we have our correspondent from Kinshasa, DRC, at the moment? All right, we're still working on getting our correspondent there in the DRC to give us the very latest on the ground. You heard from the ambassador saying that it seems to have calmed down. The situation with regards to this volcano seems to have calmed down, but we will get the very latest from our correspondent there in the DRC, so stay tuned for that.